Judy Biggert, and I'm running in the new 11th Congressional District after the remap. And I'm running again because I think that I have accomplished a lot, but I think there's still more that I need to do. And I think the biggest factor really is that I think because I'm the type of person that should be in this district. And one reason is because I listen to the constituents. I think I'm a person that crosses the party lines. I cross the aisle and work with those that I think are right, and and I'll vote with them. And if I think they're wrong, I don't. He calls us the obstructionists, that we wouldn't work with him. But I think if he had really tried to do that early on in his administration and really come out, he came to one conference that we had in the 3.5 years. He came to one retreat to give a speech and was there and then was gone. Bill Clinton was president. He really, and he had a Republican Congress. He really moved to work with us and was available so many times and came to see us a lot. Bush was, different, but he worked with everybody. But I think this president has no relationship with Congress. And I think if you look back in history, so many of the presidents really did. And I think I would hope that if he's reelected, that he would take a look at really doing that. The Congress too has, just as I said, has moved further right and further left, and that's what's hard to get back. And maybe the members that are reelected and elected coming back will be able to really get together. What we have to do, whether it's stop the spending, and we think that there should be the tax cuts extenders. They think that raising taxes, and this was sort of tied to the Simpson Bowles, which I think the president brought that up, and there was the super committee that was going to really solve that and cut the 1.2 or $3 trillion that we need for the first year. And if that didn't happen, then we had the sequestration. If there'd been the leadership there to say, this is why this is important, and let's sit down and talk about it. But again, there was nothing from anybody, and so it just kind of passed on, and thought, well, we'll have to settle with the sequestration now. Ernst & Young came out with a study that said if we were to cut the tax cuts, even just for those over $250,000, that we would lose 700,000 jobs in this country, and 30,000 jobs in Illinois. Would be raising the taxes of the job creators, and that's not to raise taxes for anyone in a situation that we are in. Would be to put us back into a recession. We've said, and I've said, that we should repeal and replace, and I think that the president is, to propose, and the Congress disposes, and that's usually, the way we work together if there's an idea. And people want access to care, and they want it at lower cost. And I think what's happened is really the costs of Obamacare is a real problem. What we would do would be to have associated health plans, and that's something we passed 6 times even before this Obamacare came up, and that is to allow small businesses to join together and make a big group like large companies do, so that they get the discounts. It spreads the risk. The other thing is to allow purchase of health care across state lines, so there's more competition. We saw that, with the Part D, that there was more competition when the way that was written. I really feel sorry, and sad for these young people that are illegal through no fault of their own, that came here illegally. But I think that we've got to do a little bit more. I've got 2 caseworkers. That's all they do in immigration, naturalization, green cards, getting people over for boards when they, coming into this country. The other thing that has worked is the agriculture is for people that come over either seasonal or when there's jobs for the agriculture, and then when they go home, their families don't come so that they're not overstaying. And with these families, I think we still have to look at the borders, because once we start out on something like that, then what happened in the 1980s, as soon as there was the amnesty, we suddenly had almost double the numbers that were here that said that they'd been here for so long. So we do need a comprehensive immigration policy, and I think that let's just say let Romney take care of that right now and see what happens when we can do that.